All right, Big Les, how's it going?
Everything good, Cam? What's going on with you?
Man, just same grinding, man. Everything is good, man. Looking forward to this interview. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I thought we'd get into your story a little bit and get to know you a little bit better. I think probably everybody probably knows you're from Chicago, but can you tell them where you grew up and what it was like for you?
Well, I grew up on 47, 46. It was cool. I mean, my growing up was good. I mean, just like a normal kid, doing everything, having fun. I had my problems, but everything good.
What was high school like for you?
High school, uh, uh, high school was it was fun, but shit, I ain't complete high school. I dropped out. I dropped out like in my shit freshman year.
How come you dropped out? That was early. That's
I was
pretty
in
early
them
to drop
streets,
out.
man. I was in them streets. I went back, GED, but I dropped out. Shit, I was in them streets at a young age.
Now, you mentioned 4-6. Now, what was it like during that time being in the streets? Was it as heavy with the violence like it is now, or was it a lot less?
It was a lot less. It wasn't no violence like it is now. It wasn't like this. Yeah.
Okay, and what was it like? Fist fights a lot, and was it more drug dealing at the time?
Shit, it was drug dealing. It was fist fights. Even though I ain't have a lot of fist fights. I ain't have no type of fights and none of that shit. But yeah, it was fist fights. Niggas was getting feet put on them and shit like that. So yeah, it was like that coming up with me. You know.
Okay, do you have any stories you could tell from back then?
Do I have any stories I can tell from back then? Yeah, I got a lot of stuff. Yeah, I got stories I can tell. Coming up, shit, I was like I said, I was blessed into that 4-6 shit when I was like 14 years old, 13 years old. So coming up, I come up under a lot of stones. You know what I'm saying? But shit, it was just like normal shit. We got into it with people, like you say, fist fights and all that. But shit, that was it.
So you drop out, and what do you do with yourself when you drop out? You just stay in the streets? Do you ever try to get a real job or anything?
Yeah, I worked jobs. I worked jobs. I had a lot of jobs. Once I got older and got wiser, you know what I'm saying? I started having kids. I knew now I got to get my shit together. I got to get my life together. That drug gang, that shit don't last long. That street shit don't last long. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to a certain age, I'm like, no, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Cause back then we had a lot of structure. So, back then it was structure, but at the end of the day, wasn't nobody gonna take care of mine. So I had to do what I had to do for mine.
Okay. Now you mentioned structure. Do you think that's like a big problem with today's gangs? Is there's no structure?
It's a huge problem. It's a big problem. Uh, the structure went out the door back in '98 when they snatched the old man up. You know what I'm saying? And these young guys just don't have the mindset. They don't care about nothing, man. You know, they don't care. They ain't respecting nothing. But we got to get that structure back, though. We got to get it back.
Yeah. Okay. So you grow up in this area, and now you're getting older and you have kids. When do you start to see like the big violence change?
When do I start to see the big violence change? I mean, man, I started losing a lot of people, man. I lost my son to these streets. You know what I'm saying? I lost my little cousins to these streets. So uh, I just really, it's been years ago, because one of my homies came to me years ago. He just passed away. God rest his soul. And he came to me years ago and he was like, man, we need to get this together. So that's when it really started and it came about to me. But I'm just picking up on it again because we study losing people, man. So right now, you know, that's why I'm coming with this movement. This man, stop it.
Okay. You mentioned losing your son, man. I believe when I interviewed Rooga, we kind of talked about it a little bit, man. You know, uh, how tough was it, going through that and you know, because I know he was shot a few times before that, and not being able to keep him out of the streets and everything.
Man, that was a headache, man. It was real tough, man. Cause he got into them streets young too. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard, man. He had me, he had his moms, he had both of us at home. Uh, but it's just kids do what they want to do. You feel me? But we stay on them. We stayed on them. You know what I'm saying? And it just was hard. I stayed on my son, man. I stayed
Yeah,
telling him, man, the streets don't love you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, man, definitely, man. What's your favorite memory of Scrap?
My favorite memory, man, I got a lot of them, man. You know what I'm saying? But my favorite memory of him, man, I ain't gonna lie, when he come jump in the bed with me and his mama, and his feet hanging out the bed. See, that's what people don't know, man. He be on them streets, and then when he come home, he jumping right in the bed with me and his mama, man. You know? And she used to be like, boy, get your ass out my bed, Get out my bed, but, that's what he did.
Being a kid.
Yep.
Did he play sports or anything?
He played basketball, he played football, but, basketball was his favorite sport.
Okay.
He loved LeBron James, so yeah, that was his favorite sport.
Okay. Man, there's been this rumor on the internet, and I've seen it for years, and I've never heard anybody actually ask this question, and so I just was kind of hoping you could answer this, man. And I'm sure you've seen it, but there's the rumor of Scrap and Little Dirt getting in a fight at the courthouse. Is there any truth to that?
Little Dirk? No, he didn't get into it with Lil Dirk. He got into it with Lil D from 600.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't Lil Dirk, it was Lil D. They had a fight in the courthouse at the juvenile facility on 11th and Hamilton. They had a rumble in the hallway.
Were
Yeah.
you there?
No, I wasn't there. No, his mother was there. They had a
Oh,
fight. They
okay.
saw each other and they just got to fighting. When he came home, they told me about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. One of the things that I've seen in the drill community that kind of like surprised people was when Duck attended THF Raheem's funeral, because that was his cousin, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's his blood.
is that you know what I'm saying? Are you related to that? Because I don't kind of know the dynamics of everything.
Am I related to Raheem?
Yeah.
Yes, that's my blood. That's my blood. That's my blood nephew. His father is my first cousin, but he my nephew. But his father, his mother, and my mother are sisters. So
Okay.
Raheem, yeah, that's my blood. That's blood. The bloodline between him, Duck, Scrap, all of them is family.
Okay. I've heard that caused like a big, like, kind of like made things worse in the city when Raheem was killed. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, yeah, it's truth to it.
Well, he just, he's kind of talked about quite a bit in the drill culture. You know what I'm saying? So, do you have any memories with him you can share?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of memories of him too. He was funny, he was a little comedian, man. He was real funny. I got a memory of him, man, coming to my house every day. Since he been young, he always been traveling, moving around, he always gonna find his way to my crib. He'll walk from 47 all the way to 56 in Michigan, by himself or with one of his homies. But he used to come to my crib and they used to just have so much fun, him and my son Scrapp. They stayed together, man. So, yeah, them the good memories of my nephew making it to me.
So even though the hoods didn't get along, they were still really tight.
Oh, yeah, they was tight. Like, that's before everything really just went haywire. They was really cool, even though when they was into it, they still was tight. They blood, you know what I'm saying? I used to drop my son off to my nephew parties over there on 4-6. I used to drop him and Duck off over there. Him and Duck done been to a few Raheem parties. You know what I'm saying? And they know who they is, so it wasn't, they ain't had no type of beef with them. Right now it's done changed.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy to think the Duck used to go to parties over there.
Yeah, he went to Raheem parties. Yeah, he been to a couple of Raheem parties over there. Him and my son Scrap.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like seeing things just completely go haywire, like you said?
Man, it was crazy. It was crazy because everything was cool, man. They all got along. They played ball together before everything happened. 600, 300, all of them. 051, everybody was getting along at first. You know what I'm saying? They all went to school together. You know what I'm saying? So back in, I say, 2011, 2012, shit started getting really crazy, man. They started, man, it just got wild. You know what I'm saying? And 600 kept picking with my son and shit like that. So that's how a lot of that shit started.
Yeah, I believe I seen somewhere that Scrap and McAdoo from 600 were really close.
They was best friends. McAdoo used to spend the night at my house. I used to take McAdoo with my son to the basketball, go play in little tournaments or they go hoop together. I used to take them to the park. They was real close.
What were you thinking when you seen everything kind of, you know what I'm saying, get wild and everything, at that time? What was kind of going through your head?
Oh, shit. I got to get up out of here, But it wasn't easy just to jump up and go. You know what I'm saying? Wish I could have just got my son up out of here, man. But yeah, all kind of stuff been going through my head just to get my son away from this shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everybody knows, Duck is your nephew and, Rooga and him, are cousins.
Yeah.
Man, Duck was rapping for quite a while, man. When he started rapping and everything, what did you think?
Oh shit! I knew from when Duck was like 4, 5. When he was a kid, I knew that Duck was gonna be a star. I said that. I told his mama that. I told my grandmama that. I told all of them, man, he gonna be a star. He used to put his little shades on back in the days. When he was 7, 8, growing up as a kid, he used to do Usher, stuff like that, Duck, I knew Duck was gonna be famous one day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts rapping and he has a pretty big impact from the gate.
Yeah, he did because I've been watching him growing up, and when he started really rapping, and we can be out driving somewhere, and a fan can see him, and they be like, "That's Duck, that's FBG Duck." So right then and there, that just let me know, like, yeah, and I done been around celebrities, you know what I'm saying? I done been around people that I know and watched them blew up. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that it was coming with him.
Yeah, yeah, man. That was I believe Slide, was kind of the big song that kind of, I know he was big in the drill community before that, but you know what I'm saying, that kind of just opened things up for him a lot,
Yeah, that opened the door. You know, that's all you need is that one hit song. You get that one hit song, you getting in there, you know what I'm saying? But it's harder for them. They've been blackballed for so long, that they gotta work extra hard, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. What's your favorite memory with Duck?
Favorite memory? I got a lot of favorite memories of him too. Well, my best memory is my 50th birthday. He had a show. Uh, his birthday December 6th, mine's December 7th. And he had a show. And I'm like, cuz, you gonna be around? He like, I got a show, cuz. And it was out of town, you know what I'm saying? But uh, to get that knock at my door on December 7th on my birthday and look up, it's Duck coming in the door. He was like, man, I couldn't miss this. You know I couldn't miss this, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So we came in, shit. We kicked it, you know? That was one of my best memories, you know what I'm saying? That he showed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rooga's really taken off recently, in the past couple of years with his music and everything. He's kind of been rapping, he rapped a little bit before that and had some big songs, but, his big impact has been these past couple of years. He's really, made a lot of noise. What'd you think, when he started rapping and doing everything?
Oh man, it's the same. I knew when he was younger that he was gonna be a star too. I knew that, and I don't never give up on none of them. I already saw it in my son. He used to walk through the house singing Sam Cooke. He used to be blowing Sam Cooke walking through the house. And he was a rapper back then too, so I knew that he was gonna blow up one day. That's why I never let up off of him. I stayed up on him and I used to tell him his mom used to always be like, that boy needs to get a job. His ass needs to get a job. And I told her this is his job. This is his job. And he kept going, and he couldn't just go work a regular job, how the way things is nowadays, he couldn't just go work in a Walmart or he couldn't work in the jewels and shit like that. Hell no, he had a big face. You know what I'm saying? So this is what's gonna get him where he need to be. And yeah, it got him where he need to be.
That's what's up, man. You mentioned, growing up in the 4-6 area and, your sons were from MOB. How did it affect you when the two hoods started to beef?
Man, that affected me bad because they weren't never beefing. When my son was alive, when Scrapp was alive, uh, it was no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like they never had a problem. Period. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I think when the passing of him, I don't know, man. They just started beefing after that. You know what I'm saying? But 4-6 never slid through MOB. MOB never slid through 4-6. You feel me? It was never a problem with them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it fuck with me. It fuck with me when I start seeing them beef like that.
Because I believe you're still in touch with everybody from over there, right?
Well, for 4-6,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in touch with some of the, some of the older guys, some of the younger guys, my nephew over there, he still, he around, Raheem little brother, people around, man, I still keep in touch with. I still slide through every now and then, every blue moon.
One of the things that I always kind of, trip out on is the amount of family that people have that are from rival gangs. And I've always just felt like, man, it just feels like somebody could have just reached out and maybe stopped all this violence early on before it got bad, man. You know, is there any chance that
Yeah,
something like that could have happened?
yeah, it could have happened, but it should have happened with the fathers, man. Like a lot of them was locked up. A lot of people was locked up and put away. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them out right now. You know what I'm saying? So it could have happened still with uncles and big cousins, but they just didn't want to step up. A lot of them didn't want to step out into the front. You know what I'm saying? Cause we been there, we done that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I think that if we would have stepped up and said something, you know, before it got really, really out of hand, I think we could have, you know, we could have did better with them. Uh, it wouldn't have been much violence as it is if we would have stepped up. If, like, you know, I would have stepped out early on, or, you know, but I did, you know, I tried to bring, like, I did bring my family together with, like some of the 4-6 little guys. I did put them in front of them and tell them, you know, I tried to let them know, like, this is not going to happen. Y'all not finna get into it with each other. You know, and I did bring them together, like a Bezu and like a lot of them that I put in front of Duck and all them and Brick, my family. You know what I'm saying? And I told them that, you know, this is not going to happen. Y'all not going to get into it with each other. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, man, I just always hope that things will eventually get better out there. You know, but I mean, I guess only time will tell.
Yeah.
One other thing that I wanted to get your take on was, Dusky was killed, and they had the funeral that was shot up, and I believe you were there at that time.
Yeah, I was there.
So, can you kind of take me through what happened that day?
I came, I think I made it a little later or whatever, but when I got there, you know, it was standing room only. I saw my son Rooga speak his little speech about Dusky. Uh, I went outside. I stood outside on the front with a few of the little guys and stuff like that. But then I went back on the inside, and when I go on the inside, it's like about over with. Everybody leaving, so me and I see my son mom's, my wife, walking out, and you know, Fat Boy with my grandson, which is Ruga's son. So everybody walking out. Then I just heard shots. Shots started ringing off. You know what I'm saying? So when the shots got to ringing off, you know, I grabbed my wife, threw her in the washroom. You know what I'm saying? Fat Boy pick up my grandbaby and run in another room. You know what I'm saying? And Fat Shorty coming up out the washroom as I'm throwing my wife in there. You know, he running up out of there with like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And he ran outside. So yeah, it was an ugly sight, but then it stopped. You know what I'm saying? It stopped for a minute, and everybody come out again. Then next thing you know, it ring off again. Ah, 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 ah. You know what I'm saying? Shots got to going off again. And it really sounded like them people was coming up in that church, how close it was. And then, you know, after that, then that's when Wooski, you know, he ran, you know, he run out there, you know, and he tried to fight him off, basically by himself, you know what I'm saying? And that's when he got shot in the head.
Oh man. Okay. So Wooski gets shot, and now do you go outside?
Yeah, after the police come, everybody went outside. After I saw all them people laying in the hallway of the church, they come up in the hallway and they laying people down in the hallway. They lock the church doors, you know what I'm saying? But when the police get there, everybody started leaving. You know, I left and I went down there where Wooski was at, and Wooski was laying on the ground, man. Just, you know, you could just see him. But when I saw him like wipe the blood from out his eye, like out his face, I was like, shit, he good. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, like he was
Yeah.
still awake. He was awake and everything.
Yeah, he was wiping it. He putting his arm up, wiping the blood off his face.
Were you ever expecting to have a funeral shot up?
No, no, never. I never been to a funeral where he got shot up. You know, my son's funeral was on 4/6. You know what I'm saying? And his homies was kind of like nervous about even. You know, they was like, man, pops, this is gonna be cool. You know, and I told him, yeah. So I wasn't expecting no funeral to get shot up. You know, my son's funeral didn't get shot up, and his funeral was right there in the hood too. So I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Was this the first funeral that you been to that was shot up?
Oh yeah, that was the first funeral. Wooski's funeral. I never been to a funeral that's been shot up at.
Where do you think this comes from? You know what I'm saying? I mean, being that I know you've been around, is that something you even heard of before growing up, or is this just
Uh,
something kind of new?
no, it's not. It ain't nothing new. They been doing that. Funerals been getting got shot up a few times, but shit, no, they been getting shot up. Funerals got shot up before, but shit, I wasn't expecting to be at one when he got shot up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you're doing a lot of stuff. You're working on a lot of new things. You know, can you tell them a little bit about what you got coming up?
Well, like I say, I'm trying to start this Man Stop It podcast. Uh, I'm trying to really reach out to the kids, you know what I'm saying, which trying to start from the youth, but we got to start with them young. So I'm still putting everything together in process and doing my little stories. Uh, and we need to reach out to these kids young, man, before, I'm going to say, past 10, because they out there in them streets. We got to start doing better, man, with these kids. We got to bring them up together, you know what I'm saying, to try to curb all this violence, man.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is, kids will really get involved in the streets really early, man.
Yeah,
I mean, 10 years old, man, that is so young
yeah, yeah.
to
A
us.
little more willing, living witness. A little more, man. He been in the streets since probably 9, man. He been in their videos and all that, man. So we got to do something different, man. We got to try to grab hold to him.
Yeah, that's young, man. Okay, well, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Uh, no, I just want the people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, man, called Man Stop It. Man Stop It. Um, I'm on Facebook, under Leslie Weekly. You can reach me on IG under at Weekly L on Instagram.
All right, yeah, check that out for sure, man. Well, Les, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, Cal.
Definitely, man, shit, man, I wish you luck with everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing the positive stuff for the community and everything, man.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right, bro.
All right. Peace.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.